So I was actually going to make a quick video going over all the anime coming out this spring, and I'm going to pick out which one I'm going to watch and be covering. But My Hero got to jump on everybody because they dropped the first episode for season 5 today. And so obviously, if you guys are watching this, then you will see that one of the shows I'm covering this season will be My Hero season 5. And I gotta say, the episode started off pretty well. It picks off right where we left off last season, where we saw Endeavor beat that Nomu, and that right there was a pretty intensive battle. I forgot how hyped that fight was, but I'm glad episode 1 showed that again because that fight right there really showed how badass an Endeavor can be, and that's why he's now the number one hero. But after that, we go back to class 1A, and we see the students talking about the fight, and we see now how they're going about their normal like daily life. But then we see that they have a little emergency happen where they're doing their training now, and they have to get ready, suit up and all that good stuff. And we see now that these supposed villains, I say that with finger quotes, even though you guys can't see it, but the villains have launched an attack, and we see now that the hero had to bring it to action. Now, off the rip, I'm gonna say that the opening right now, I'm not really feeling it. Maybe it will grow on me, but overall, I think some of the previous ones were better than this one. But now, I'm not saying no with bad. I'm just saying it'll probably take some time for me to like really come and like it. But we see now all the heroes suit up, and we pretty much get a rundown of their powers again, their quirks, their hero name, pretty standard stuff. Now I'm gonna say that some of the names they have chosen, I actually do like. Anima to me sounds like a pretty badass name. Then we have Charge Bolt, to me that's also a pretty good one. And then I think my favorite one hands down was definitely Tsukiyomi. I like the name a lot. To me that is a very badass name. And now some of them were also, kind of questionable, like freaking grape juice. Now, who in the world is gonna say, like honestly here, who was gonna say that grape juice is my favorite hero? No one. No one's ever gonna say that. But to me, it's definitely a funny name. But granted, this guy it's not really meant to be, like a serious hero. I'm not gonna lie, his quirk is, kind of whack in my opinion. But just the fact that this name, like just the fact that man really picked the name Grape Juice for his hero name, that right there was just hella questionable. But of course, like while they were, springing into action, we see now that some of them really got to shine. We saw everyone quirk in action. It was always, pretty cool to see. The differences of power always dope. But then we see now that not only have to, like stop this fire or, stop the villains that we didn't see yet, there was also someone they had to rescue, a civilian. And then we see it was my boy Mirio, and this man is just vibing like 100%. Even though the man was supposedly, drowning, he wasn't taking it too seriously, because he was like kind of like goof off a little bit because this man was still, had a smile on his face even though he supposed to be in danger. And to me, like this dude just 100%, like just vibing all the damn time. So that was they were pretty funny. And we see now that the villains were actually the other members of the big three, Hado and Tamaki. And Hado's quirk is kind of weird to me. Like I don't recall if they explained it or not, but I don't really get it. Like obviously, it's a pretty good quirk. She's pretty strong. I mean, she's like one of the big three, so I definitely know she's a powerhouse. But her quirk overall, I don't really understand it. Like I'm trying to recall if they ever like broke it down and explained it to us, but I can't recall what it does. But I definitely know it has some kind of like, I guess, power creep is how you could describe it. Because we see now how she can, adjust the power and the output of it and make it stronger or weaker, I guess. But then we have Tamaki. We all know his quirk is. He kind of like, a chimera. Pretty much whatever he eats, he can actually, like recreate it, in his own body. Like we saw him with the clam hands and the talon feet and the octopus tentacles. His quirk can be all big, interesting, just because he has so many possibilities. You definitely know that he could be a badass, but this man didn't want to be there because he actually wanted to go home, and we see now that he couldn't do that because he would make Hado mad. So now with the big three, or I guess you say big two, whatever, but with these two acting as villains, we see now that our heroes had to stop them. And so we had Invisible Girl, and I do wish this one time we could see what she looked like, but she's always invisible 100% of the time, so we probably not even going to see her. She actually saved the acid chick, and so that was pretty cool. How they worked together for that. And then we see now how we had Tailsman. Oh, Tailsman is actually another cool name I actually did like, because I like how this man uses his martial art with his tail. To me, that exchange with him and Tamaki was actually pretty freaking cool. I'm not gonna lie. But we saw them, kind of step up a little bit, and then we saw Deku come in there. But of course, because he knows that Tamaki, is not really a villain, just acting like one. This man, couldn't really, bring her to attack him, but it said, instead that he actually grabbed him. And of course, Tamaki didn't, like that, because right now he's the villain, and Deku, kind of like slacking a little bit because he's too kind. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but like you said, it was a real villain, and this man Deku, took pity on him. That could really be his downfall one day. And then we see that even though he couldn't do it, we had Bakugo, we had Red Riot, and we had Charbol. They all came in there, and I definitely do like, even though Bakugo does seem like a very difficult to a person, be around. This man actually does have friends. Like, he actually does consider Chargebolt and Red Riot to be his friends. Now, granted, the only reason why he had, Chargebolt come along was because this man was the only one that could, power up the car with his quirk. I thought that right there was kind of messed up, but I actually do like Red Riot a lot. To me, he's definitely grown on me, especially after last season. Like the way he did it. In that one fight when we saw this man go super hard. To me that was awesome. But we all see them now. Work together. And Bakugo, this man does not care, bro. He was going in there full force with the red eyes, that bloodlust 100%, and we even see that right there scared Tamaki. And so, of course, now, Bakugo thought, this man was going easy on him, and honestly, he was just scared because Bakugo is, like, straight up crazy. And this man actually launched an attack on him, at full force, I guess. And we see now the aftermath because we saw everybody, hair, like, afroed up. They were all, like, covered in dirt. And, of course, this man got trouble for that because he's, like, going full out. And they're supposed to be, just like a training exercise. But overall, to me, that episode was pretty freaking good. And then we saw, that after the ending, and the ending I actually do like a lot. To me, the ending better than the opening. But after the episode, we saw that we actually went back to the Endeavor fight, the aftermath for that. And we see that out of nowhere, Dobby came, and that was like kind of weird. I don't know what Dobby planning. Like, now I definitely know he's part of the league, and I know that they make the Nomu or the Nomu serve them. So I mean, it's not weird that he's there. It's just really weird that he would show up now, after they destroyed that Nomu. And so obviously he didn't attack Endeavor or anything because we saw Endeavor in hospital, recovering from the Nomu fight. So I do wonder what his goal is here. But then we see that afterwards, Hawk actually went to meet with him, and that's kind of weird. Like, hopefully Hawk's not, a traitor, because I actually do like his design a lot, and his quirk does seem pretty cool. With the feathers, how he can fly, how he can, control them, like, remotely, and even use them in conjunction with other people. So hopefully Hawk's not trying to be a bad guy, because that right there will be, pretty disappointing. But overall, the episode was a great start, a fantastic start. I'm definitely going to make sure I keep up with this series, and I'm definitely going to make sure that I keep reviewing it every single week. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment below. Follow me on Twitter. You want to talk about this, or even the comment, so let me know what you guys thought. But as always, you guys take it easy, and I will see you all next time.